All right, YouTube, what's going on? Welcome back to another video. Today we are going over 10 more illustration rares that are absolutely blowing up right now with huge percentage gains on their original pricing from the last couple of months. So with that said, we're going to jump right into the video here. Thank you again for all the support. Make sure you guys are subscribing if you're brand new, because at 3,000 subscribers, we are doing a giveaway on the channel for one of you guys. And all you have to do to enter is be subscribed and leave a comment down below. With that said, we're going to say a quick hello to today's sponsor, and then we're going to get into our 10 illustration rares that are popping off this week. Now, on top of that, I do want to say thank you to Sleeved for today's video sponsor. Sleeved is a dedicated Discord community that brings you restock notifications for all of your favorite stores when they get new Pokemon stock. Places like Target, Walmart, Best Buy, all of those sort of stores that you can get your Pokemon cards from, Sleeved has you covered. If you guys want to check out the description down below, there is a link to join the Discord server. And the best part about it, it is absolutely free. So you're never going to miss out on restocks again, and you're going to get notified as soon as products do become available. So if you want to check them out, like I said, they are down in the description below. And thank you to Sleeved for sponsoring today's video. All right, starting off with the first card, and we've seen illustration rares going absolutely crazy lately. This is one that I've had on my radar, and I've said this in a bunch of videos. I even mentioned it in yesterday's video as well, is the Palafin from Paldean Fates. I call this the Superman Palafin. Obviously, I know there's the Batman Mewtwo that people refer to as the one from 151. I call this the Superman Palafin because he just looks super menacing. He looks like he's about to take someone on, and it looks like a full reveal of Superman in one of the movies. So I think this card is awesome. I've always thought it is a really cool looking card, but it is super undervalued. Even now, after a 420% increase, it is sitting at $2.91 market price. You could get this card for literally 50 cents not that long ago, and you probably still can find it for 50 cents. I think this one is sneaking right under the radar from everyone. And I think in the future, this is going to be over $10 to $15 as a card, because this illustration rare artwork is absolutely gorgeous. So even after 420%, you could still buy a stack of these extremely cheap and hope for some gains in the future. And worst case scenario, you've only lost a couple of dollars from buying a bunch of these, and then you just sell them off for what they're worth. So I think this is a good one to keep an eye on. The second card that is on this list is the Larvitar from Obsidian Flames. This one has currently increased 178% over the last 3 months. Back in December, this was $1.84, which was the low for this card. It is now sitting at $6.58. So if you have this, or you may know someone that has this, it has gone up quite significantly. And this is why I make these videos, because I find after collecting myself, the amount of illustration rares that I have in my binders that I don't really care for too much, or they're not really Pokemon that I like, but they're in my binders. And then I scroll back after a couple of months and see that they're actually worth something now because of the increases that have been going on lately. You can then go and sell them or trade them at a local card store for cards that you actually want, which is something that I did today. I had a couple of illustration rares that I didn't want, went and traded them at the local card store and pulled out the Entei from Crown Zenith to swap them for, which is something that I wanted in my personal collection. So again, this is one of the main reasons we make this video. It's not all about what's worth what and how much money can I make off it. Sometimes it's just about building up your collection to be able to, give away or trade away cards that you have that you didn't really want or didn't necessarily like, to get something that you actually appreciate into your collection. But card number 3 is the Bellibolt. And again, you're going to see a theme here. These are rising in price with huge percentage gains, but they're all still super cheap and affordable options. They aren't the coolest cards in my opinion. Obviously your special illustration rares and then some of the big hitter illustration rares are the ones that everyone loves, but again, they are expensive for a reason. These ones are currently, just cheap options if you want to build out a really cool binder, or maybe you do like some of these more modern Pokemon. It's just not what I grew up with, but you might want to add some of these to your collection as well. I do actually really like the artwork on the Bellibolt from Obsidian Flames. If you ask me about Bellibolt and what moves it had other than what's on the card here, like in one of the games, I wouldn't be able to tell you. I have no idea. I have not seen Bellibolt until I looked at Journey Together. So this is a card for me that I think is not one that I'm going to be adding, but you might have it and you might see this 350% increase, and it might be time to move it on for something else. So currently $7.50, and a couple of months ago, you could have got it as low as like $1.62, which is really crazy. Next up, I think everyone kind of knew this one, but I just wanted to mention it because I haven't brought it up in a while. The Cleffa from Obsidian Flames. This is such a cool artwork. And I think it just looks like such a nice card. The pinks, the purples that are in this, it looks really, really good. And it's up 171% in the last few months, sitting at $27 currently. But back in December, you could have got this for around about $10, which is crazy to think about, that in just 2-3 months, this can go from being a $10 card to $27, which, again, these illustration rares, they're getting out of hand. They're just moving way too quickly for anyone to keep up with. Next on the list is Lechonk. Again, like a pretty heavy Obsidian Flames feature here, because I feel like it's such an underrated set, and it's something that I actually believe in as a set. I like almost all of the artworks out of this. I actually have some sealed. It's one of the few sealed products that I actually have is Obsidian Flames since I started collecting. But I really like a lot of the artworks in here, like the Ninetales. You've got the Scissor. You've got all these ones that are on this list here. That Cleffa was part of Obsidian Flames as well. I think it's a really good set, and I think people just haven't appreciated it until now. And we're starting to see some gains as well. So the Lechonk went from being $2.45 a few months ago to now sitting at $8.82, which is a 229% increase. So some really good gains there for the Lechonk. The Palafin, yes, that's right. There is a second Palafin card on this list. Again, I just think it's underappreciated what the artwork of these cards are doing. This is such a cool art here again with Palafin, up 279%, sitting at $6.36 right now. Whereas a few months ago, when nobody liked Obsidian Flames, nobody was talking about Obsidian Flames, this card was $1.74. So if you bought 20 of them back then, even if you were to sell them now for $6 a piece, you're up big. So I think this is a really cool art, and I honestly believe that this card specifically will go up quite a bit more in the future. I feel like it has potential to go to even a $20 card at some point in the next few months. So keep an eye on this one, as well as the other Palafin from Paldean Fates. Next up is the Probopass from Twilight Masquerade. I put this on here because it's up 236% right now, sitting at $5.11, but at the low, you could have got this for like $1.45. I think this is cool because, again, anytime a Pokemon card features a ton of other Pokemon in it, I find it really interesting. You think of like the Pikachu from Crown Zenith that has a bunch of other Pokemon cards in it in the surroundings. This one has a similar feel to it, and I really like the way it is. Just with the different trainers and civilians around in this, and Probopass kind of just blending into the crowd for this one. Next up is the Lileep. This one is up 200%, currently $6.48. Whereas at the low, you could have got this for $2.19. I almost said $219 then. $2.19, and this one is from Stellar Crown. I talk about the cutesy cards quite a bit here on the channel. There is definitely collectors out there looking for something exactly like this. The bright pink coloring on this card will draw to a certain type of collector, that is for sure. And I think they would really love to have these in their collection, which, you know, potentially could be the reason why these prices are climbing on this card. Next up is the Sunflora from Twilight Masquerade. This is a cool card, man. Like, this looks really, really cool. And it's seeing some good gains, up 291% from being, again, a $2 card up to just under $10 for this one. Twilight Masquerade is still in that kind of risk of reprint, so we may see something there. But again, I think once, you know, Twilight Masquerade goes out of rotation, this one again could be a $20 card. And finishing off with the Milcery from Stellar Crown. Again, another one of those cutesy cards that is really fun. It looks like there is a lot going on in this. There's little snacks, there's cookies, there's, you know, what looks like to be a sundae that is starting to melt. There's so much going on here in the card. But the crazy thing about this one is that it is up 391% in the last 3 months, going from the low of like $2.32 up to $12.29, which is absolutely crazy. But there are just so many cool cards out at the moment. I can't keep them all in one video, otherwise it would be an hour long. So we are going to do multiple episodes of this throughout the next couple of weeks as these illustration rares start to increase. So this was episode 1, and I will see you guys very soon with episode 2. Make sure you subscribe if you're brand new, and I will see you in the next one.